OK, let's continue our build-up to Saturday's a fight between Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte today. We're at Whyte's gym in Brixton. Let's cross there now and join Fraser Dainton. Fraser.
Yeah, we moved a little bit outside of the grandeur and the splendour of Canary Wharf where we were yesterday. This time, we're at a proper boxing gym. We're out in Brixton. I'm joined by Johnny Nelson and Adam Smith. This is a kind of place where we feel a bit more at home, isn't it?
You say a proper boxing gym. It's just off Harbour Lane in Brixton. My brother lives on the corner. My mother's around the corner. This is a real community gym. And this is the kind of place where Rocky movies are made from. And this is kind of a Rocky story for Dillian, especially coming from just Jameer. So he'll have a whole community behind him, but this is where the hard work is done. So it's not the glitz and glamour of the where Anthony Joshua trains. This is a hard, tough game.
For this fight, Dillian's been based largely out in Austria and in Germany in the Klitschko camp, but he loves this place. We saw him, 2 or 3 months ago here, and what he really enjoys is the social community feel of it. The fact that, as Johnny says, he knows people. I've got friends who come down here and train alongside the professionals. Isaac Chamberlain uses this space, the young cruiserweight, and what Dillian loves is the fact that he can mix with what he calls his people, and he feels at home here. So really looking forward to seeing him in this ring later on. He will do. He's very popular around these parts.
Let's have a quick look back yesterday when we saw Chris Eubank Jr., for example, in the ring. He's in a WBA eliminator against Gary Spike O'Sullivan, of course. Interesting situation developing there because of what happened at the weekend with Danny Jacobs being so very quickly successful.
Well, I thought it was a stunning win for Daniel Jacobs at the weekend against Kid Chocolate, Peter Quillen. No one saw that coming. All over in, a minute and a half. That's a massive statement from Jacobs, who, of course, is the miracle man. Wonderful story coming back from cancer. Fantastic guy as well, Jacobs, and really adds impetus into this terrific middleweight division. Obviously, Gennady Golovkin, leads the way, but what opportunities ahead. Andy Lee and Billy Joe Saunders are going to fight on our show on Saturday. It's Chris Eubank Jr. against Spike O'Sullivan in that grudge match. Now, the winner of those fights is in the mix in the new year, and Chris Eubank Jr. will be honing in on Daniel Jacobs now.
The other fight that we saw that was quite interesting was the fact that Derek Chisora was back in action, as well as a Sauerland fighter getting his first victory. That's the kind of name, I guess, that both Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua will be looking at in the future to step up to the next level.
Of course, and that is the talk. Where do they go next? Is it too far to put Dillian or Anthony Joshua and talk about him with Fury or with Hay at this moment in time? So where's he go? I think Chisora would be the perfect opponent, the perfect mark for these guys as a next step towards getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's good that Derek's in the mix. Derek has the experience. He's had the big fights, so it's a good test for any fight, and it's good for the domestic heavyweight division as well.
It's interesting, isn't it? I don't think they probably predicted that Tyson Fury would blow the heavyweight division wide open, but David Hay announces his comeback. Derek Chisora signs with the Sauerlands. Who knows, David Price might want to be a part of the picture now. 2016 for these heavyweights is going to be heavy business, isn't it?
It's all of a sudden become very, very interesting in what was a pretty dull division. Things are changing big time. We saw Anthony Joshua yesterday, looked in great form, looked very happy, very relaxed. What did you make of his demeanour yesterday?
I think Anthony looked absolutely supreme. I couldn't fault anything I saw, anything I tried to sense, anything you heard, whispers around the gym. You heard no negatives. He was very relaxed before in a restaurant downstairs, having a cup of hot chocolate, and he was just buzzing. He was like he wasn't fighting. He came to watch a show at the weekend. And so I'm just trying to see what the atmosphere will be like here for Dillian, because now the days are getting closer, drawing closer, and he spoke a lot. He's very intense, and there is some genuine bad feeling between the two of them. So I want to see how his demeanour is today, how much he'll give us today. If he even turns up today, we hope he does. But this is a big deal. So we'll be able to feed off both fighters. Just today, we want to see how what Dillian's like, and then we'll be able to measure the both of them.
Anthony Joshua in awesome shape, as always, but very, very sharp, I thought, on the pads. But, we felt Vladimir Klitschko looked pretty sharp in that final press workout in Dusseldorf. And look what happened. Accidents can happen in the heavyweight division. Be fascinated to see what sort of shape Dillian Whyte is in today. What I did like about Joshua is what he said to you. He doesn't give fight predictions, but you know what? He ain't going past 3 rounds.
I'll be putting that to him a little bit later on and getting his reaction. But it'll be interesting to see how these two get on in the ring itself. There's a real buzz starting to build about this fight because, as everybody always says, styles make fights, and we talk about Dillian Whyte being more of a street fighter. He's more open. He loves that left jab, but he comes in with a left hook, and he's got a big right as well. He's got a lot of power, but he's quite open at times.
He's unpredictable, Dillian Whyte, a little bit like Tyson Fury was. So how's Joshua going to go about business? Is he going to get that jab going? Is he going to be quicker? Is he going to hit too hard? Or Dillian Whyte could just confuse the situation. It will be fascinating. Look, both are unbeaten. Styles will gel with the needle. It's one to watch, isn't it?
Remember, styles make fights. Joe Frazier, they said he was a brawler. He was uncouth. He has no class. Muhammad Ali, they said he was a magician, the ultimate professional. The 3 fights these guys had created history, because it was like a tornado and a volcano clashing together with these guys fighting. I think that's exactly what we're going to see with Whyte and Joshua. It's going to be styles. Whose style is going to be able to impress on the other? And I think if Whyte gives Joshua space, he's going to let Joshua flourish.
And Johnny, don't forget the British heavyweight titles on the line. Obviously, Joshua defending the Commonwealth belt. He won very quickly against Gary Cornish. But this British title means so much to the guys.
And the European title is vacant, so therefore these guys can look on to think, right, can I move on to try and capture the European title eventually?
Huge amount at stake. It should be a very, very exciting fight indeed. The one thing we'll look forward to seeing today, though, is what sort of shape Dillian Whyte is in here at the gym. Join us a little bit later for that.
Great, thanks for now, Fraser. So just 4 days to go until fight night, so you can catch all the build-up right here on Sky Sports News HQ. Now later we'll go live inside Whyte's training camp in Brixton to see how he prepares. Tomorrow, the chief support takes centre stage. We'll be with Chris Eubank Jr. ahead of his grudge match with Spike O'Sullivan. We have seen what happens between Whyte and Joshua. Expect more fireworks on Thursday when the 2 heavyweights meet at their final news conference. And on Friday, it's the weigh-in, the last chance for both men to win the psychological battle. That could, of course, be a lively affair. Saturday, we'll be with the fighters throughout the day as they prepare to settle their feud. But as we mentioned, it's not the only personal rivalry that'll come to a head on Saturday night.